Like
I was talk about being out of commission. I was out of commission.
When you've been married, I remember there was one time, I never will forget this, and this is why I tiptoe around this time, is because
tiptoe around
no,
this
like
time.
tiptoe through the tips. So picture this. This morning, I was outside doing like a morning walk with my sliders, basketball shorts, and a coffee mug. Not a travel mug, just an open mug. Walk in the neighborhood.
It's like the perfect dad outfit right there.
It was perfect.
Did you say sliders and socks?
Yeah, oh, of course.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Sliders, socks, basketball shorts, and you know, just a mug.
Mug. Got it.
Walk in the neighborhood. Because what I've been trying to do is like go for a walk or go outside first thing in the morning and let the sun slap me in the face. I've heard it's really good for you.
Sounds
to
great.
Do that. Just to get sun immediately to help you wake up, whatever.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to do that more. And so today I was just doing that walk. And I was just kind of thinking about the day, just the appointments we got, just all the videos we had to edit, and also thinking about this podcast today. Yeah. And I was just not really excited about like what we were going to do before.
Right. Because once a month we get together and we like plan out our schedule of our videos, our podcast, and both of us we both were like, yeah, let's do it. Sounds good. Yeah. But there's no excitement.
No, just kind of was just like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Right.
And so I was like, and then I started thinking about, well, what other content should we do today? Because I know it's podcast film day.
Yes.
And so I was just kind of walking around, like not excited about anything I was thinking of or really anything on our hit list that we have.
Right.
And then I was like, maybe it's time for a change in our podcast. And whenever I get to those moments where I feel like it's just so hard, sometimes you push through, but I did try to push through. And I just realized, you know what, maybe it's just time to think of something different.
Change it up.
And then I was like, you know what? Why don't we just hang out? Just talk about our week. We always have like a staff meeting on Mondays for our business. And we just talk about like just what's going on for the week, the client work we have.
What's due.
Right. Our own videos, things like that. And we brought up the podcast, kind of talking about the thumbnail and the title and just all those different things we would talk about. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. And Lacey's like, what? And so I told her my idea. And she's like, you know what? I've been actually listening to this other podcast where that's exactly what they do. It's a husband and wife, and they just talk about their week. Yeah. And I was like, brilliant. Yeah.
They're content creators. They mainly do short form, like reels, and they're hilarious. But on their podcast, they just chat and they just talk. Yeah. And like their topics come off of what just ever happens in that conversation, and it's so funny and I love it so much. And so we both were talking like, let's just kind of go for that vibe, because we have to do a lot of research with certain videos we do, like a lot of our Disney Cruise Line. If you guys watch that, you know, we're researching, we're finding tips, we're, you know, digging deep in different things. And our podcast, there's some of those episodes we've had to do that as well. And it takes a lot of time. And we wanted this to be more of a place where we can just do a little bit more like deeper dive behind the scenes of, for example, like you guys see, if you guys watch our vlogs, you guys see like 20 or 30 minutes of our week. And so this is a chance for us to kind of like dive deeper, share like funny stories that happen throughout the week, things that are going on in our life that we don't show in our vlogs. And if like more serious topics come out of that, that's cool too, but we're not going to just hone in and be like, this is it.
And I think that's where we realize is like, you know, it'd be fun to just talk more about, like you said, behind the scenes of what we're filming, because we just don't have time to talk about everything during the week.
Right, for sure.
It's more of a journal format with our vlogs, and that's why we love the coffee chats, because we can kind of catch up and stuff. But this would be more of like a, you know, being able to get detailed during the week, which I think will be fun. But also, like, I just don't want to script anything. Right. And I think that's where we want to get to with our podcast is like, we wanted this to be, or like basically if you were here in our living room, like this would be the conversation we'd be having. Yeah. Or I mean, maybe not, we'd probably have other conversations, but it just kind of like that, where it's just like, let's just have a conversation. It's not scripted. Let's just talk. I'm not going to say that we're not going to ever have podcasts that are scripted and we do more deep dives in different things. We will, but I kind of think this is where we want to be right now. Yeah. And I'm so excited about that, because we've really struggled with what is our podcast?
What is it? Like, what are we going to hone in on?
What's, because, you know, like, we already put out lots of content on YouTube. So what's different from the podcast than YouTube?
Right.
You know, and I think we've found a good line.
Yeah.
But I think we're just trying to like even like get more detailed with that.
We are.
With that line.
Yeah.
So,
but
anyway.
I right off the bat am very excited to go this route. Yeah. Because I think there's so many times where you and I just have conversations in the car where it could have been recorded, because I think it's interesting. Yeah. Rather than being like, okay, like you said, not a scripted.
Well, that's kind of why we wanted to start the podcast in the very beginning, a long time ago. Yeah. Because it was off of like a car conversation, and we're like, man, that'd be kind of fun just to have a conversation and have a podcast. Because I like listening to people who just have conversations and start talking about whatever.
Totally.
So anyway, maybe you don't like it. Let us know how you like this, but we'll probably do this for at least a few of them and kind of see how we like it. And again, like I said, it's not like we'll do other stuff too, but I think like default, this might be the direction, but we'll see. It's still early. But anyway, I think another thing is fall is approaching, and I always get so inspired by fall.
Yeah.
And
changing things up all the time.
Yeah. But I was kind of thinking that I actually get inspired by every season in the beginning. Yeah. And with Idaho, we have all 4 seasons, which is great. So the beginning of the season, I'm always inspired for like new things, creating new things, new workflows, new routines, new goals. I always am. But for fall, I'm inspired the entire season, not just the beginning. Yeah. And so I think
that is true about you. Yeah. And I mean, even to attest to that, last night I came home from going to the movies with my sister. By the way, we went and saw It Ends With Us. Oh my gosh, that's such a good movie. I even start crying just thinking about it again.
There was tears on your shirt still. Like your shirt was still wet from the tears.
I just got done reading the book a couple days ago, so it was raw in the memory. And then watching it, I was like, oh, they did a good job. Anyways, so after that, we come home and Justin says, I cleaned the laundry room, but he like looks at me weird. I'm like, what did you do? He's like, nothing. I just cleaned it up. It was a mess. And I was like, I had this weird feeling you redid something or you busted a wall out, because you are in the fall. You do those kind of things. You just are all about change.
I am. I don't know.
So I'm like,
what
wait a second. What
like
do you mean you
every
cleaned it?
What
fall,
looks different? I'm thinking something new.
So that's probably why you were so weirded out by me. You're like, I just cleaned it. I'm like,
it was weirdly a mess for some reason from the weekend. Like everything was just put in
thrown in there.
But anyway, I don't know. I don't know if it's because like the leaves are changing, and I guess what it is fall is my favorite season. Yeah. And so whatever reason, I draw a lot of inspiration from that. And so I think that was part of the reason why today it was like really kind of folly this morning, and I was just kind of inspired for something new. Yeah. But also, like, I think we've been struggling with this podcast for a while, of like what we want it to be. Right. So we'll see.
Going. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, so your movie was good.
Yes, it was so good. It was fun just doing a girls' night out and hanging out with my sisters. And
you don't do that very often, like with all your sisters.
Yeah,
all 2
I know.
of them.
We just said that too last night. She was saying we don't like do this very much. So when she's like, thanks for making this happen, because I was like, hey, this is coming out. Like, she read the book too. I've got a women's retreat coming up this weekend. Speaking about hanging out with more women, it's gonna be like girls' week. So we had some ladies that are sharing their stories and testimonies. So I filmed them. I have to edit those this week, but it was really cool. So I did that. So at this retreat, I'm actually going to be sharing as well. I'm doing like a workshop on boundaries. So it's been interesting trying to get everything just put together for that. First time doing, I've taught before at retreats, but like a workshop style. And this is a topic that's, can be kind of difficult. So, but I'm giving like a biblical perspective, talking about like, why boundaries are good, how it's, healthy for your life, what it says in the Bible about boundaries and how Jesus showed them. Also, I think like the Christian culture, there's a lot of things that are said about boundaries that aren't necessarily true. For example, like, boundary, you're not loving if you have boundaries, or that's not forgiving. Just some misconceptions that I'm going to address too. So it'll be good. I talked to a friend today, and she's like really excited because she's actually reading. There's a book I'm going to base some of it off of called Boundaries. and by Henry Cloud and John Townsend. And she was like, I'm reading that right now. She's like, I'm so excited about this. So it was really encouraging to hear that as well, because, you know, I'm a little nervous, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, next time, our next podcast, we should talk about it. Maybe some of the
things I shared.
Things you shared and stuff in our conversational podcast.
Yeah.
But I think that boundaries is such a huge thing, you know, and I think a lot of people have questions on it with like boundaries with family and, you know, just all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
I'm going to kind of hit like a little bit like with family, with friends, and then also with like the digital age, like how to set that for yourself. I think it'll be good. And then with your kids. So it's so much. And I've got like 40 minutes plus in that 40 minutes, I'm doing like a panel. I'm going to have some women come up and do like a Q&A. So we really can't get a ton in the time we have with that topic. So, but
well, let me ask you a question. As far as like boundaries in the digital age, what are a couple of things that you're going to share about that? Because I think that's
well,
huge.
You've actually helped me with this as well, and I'm really excited because I think it'll be just freeing to the women and to hopefully you guys too to hear this. But when it comes to social media, there were so many accounts I was following where I just felt like when I got off my phone, or I felt like really sad, or I didn't feel good enough, or I felt like I questioned the decisions Justin and I have made on how we've decided to, you know, raise our kids or things we've done in our lives. And it was so weird because I'm like, why do I feel that way? Like, I'm very confident in our decisions we've made. We've prayed about these together, but then I see that other people portray their opinions or whatnot. So Justin's like, well, you don't have to see that stuff. And I'm like, but I don't want to like block people. I love these people. And he's like, well, you can just mute their stories. I was like, oh, I can. So basically there were just some things that I didn't want to see because, you know, it wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for my mental health or my state of mind. And I just don't like blocking people. I don't know. So there are some things that you have to, obviously, if it's like really bad. But there's just, you know, certain things I'm like, I love social media to laugh. I love it like so much. There's so many funny things. I also love to see like cooking things and recipes. I like to get inspired. And so if there was anything that was not doing that for me and it was getting me in a negative space, I mute it so it won't show up in my feed. And it's been so good. Really good.
I mean, I love social media for like, I just feel like for the accounts I follow, like I want to be inspired. Yeah. Like, you know, I don't want to be like, you know, depressed after I'm, you know, and it's just like, that's not worth it. No. I have to check myself because I'm like, I'm wasting so much time. Oh, it's a huge time waster. Yeah. And whatever. Right. And it's funny because we make content. Right. Yeah. But it's like, but there's people that I like to follow that make good content that inspires me. And that's what we hope to do. Yes. And so we think about that. Like when we're putting out videos, we hope that our videos aren't going to like discourage people, but they're going to like bring inspiration. I wish more people would think about that before they post something. Yeah. Because sometimes people post stuff and you're like, okay, like you can post that, but was it wise to post that? Right. Like what is that really going to help anybody? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you can do what you want, but it's like I mean, why? Right. Like, exactly. What's the heart behind it? Right. And so that was the thing that I saw. And I'm not like, there's a time and place for politics and your opinions on things and what you do, but for social media, that I don't really like to see that. Like, and if that's what you choose to do, that's okay. But I don't want to see it. And so it was just that boundary I was able to put up and that freedom of saying, I don't have to see it. You know what I mean? I'd rather have these conversations face to face with people. Yeah. And not just like scrolling and just seeing people's opinions. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I'm the same way. Yeah. Like, and we just look at social media differently because we don't want to be a time waster, but we want to be inspired. Right. And so there's like you know, cooking or, you know, our friends that are on YouTube and stuff and, you know, things like that where it's like we love that content, you know, but anyway, that I mean that's a good you know, good conversation piece at the retreat to talk about. Yeah. So I will be bringing that part up. So I hope it's like encouraging for people in that way too. And like freeing, because it was so freeing for me to put that stuff into place, because I almost felt like I had to see it because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings, you know? Well, then what I've realized that there's people in my life that I don't necessarily like social media person of them, but I like them in real, like exactly them.
Absolutely.
But social media, them, I'm just like, why are you sharing all this stuff? Like, who cares?
Right. Yeah.
But like them, I love.
Yes.
And so I've realized like sometimes I have to mute them because I want just to have a legit, real relationship with them.
And I think you're the one that told me that part, and that's why I was like, oh, that's so cool, because like you said, I'm like, I love this person, but I don't like social media them because I just see their politics, their opinions, and it made me feel so like, well, mine's not the same. Can we be friends? You know what I mean? And so I'm like, well, okay, I don't have to see it if I don't want to, and I can put up that boundary. So I think that was like really cool.
It protects your friendship sometimes.
It does,
because it's just the culture we live in. So I think just having the right boundaries and how to navigate through is extremely important. And everyone has the different kind of levels of how to do that. And just know your boundaries, know where you're at. So speaking of like boundaries and stuff like that, with like setting the right priorities, that has been something that I've been really looking at with my own life, is just the right priorities with social media, because it is such a time waster. I don't look at social media as far as reels. I'll look at like stories on like my friends who I follow, but like as far as reels go, I will not do reels until I give myself a time limit in the evening. Yeah. It's usually when we're sending each other reels like for it's like almost
I'm laughing in the inside because I'm like, well, I'm sorry, they're sending you those 3 reels.
But I don't, because friends send me stuff all the time, and I see them all in my DMs. But I'll look at them at a certain block when the kids are in bed. And I allow myself a little time, but I've been trying to prioritize that. And I can't,
so you won't go to your DMs and watch those yet, because that will get you in the hole of going to more. If I see do that.
One, it's like eating Pringles. You eat one and you eat the entire can. Absolutely. It's just what it is. That did not just happen recently.
I'm like, do we even have Pringles in the house?
I'm just saying, whenever we do road trips, we get Pringles, and I eat the entire thing.
Yeah, like, I don't know what happened. Where did it go? And your hand's stuck in the can.
It's just like I blink and they're gone. That's how it is.
The sour cream.
Blink in 2 hours, you're on reels, and you're just like, you feel sick to your stomach because you're like, I could have done this, and that
during this time.
And I think a lot of the times I find myself when I'm watching reels is when I'm demotivated or when I'm overwhelmed. I have so much going on my to-do list, and I get so overwhelmed that I don't even know where to start. And so then I'm like, I'm just gonna look at reels because I don't want to start because I'm so overwhelmed. And then it's like I get nothing done, and I'm more overwhelmed. It's like this stupid thing rather than just attacking the to-do list, even though it's overwhelming. Yeah, just start. Right. And so anyway, but I don't remember who shared this. Maybe it was Jessica Braun, if you follow her. And if it's not Jessica, let me know. But I think she was saying something about how she has her to-do list, but there's it's almost, she's never had this point in her life where she's had to actually prioritize her to-do list, where it's just because everything is so important and there's so much on the to-do list, but now she has to sit down and actually say, okay, like, what's the priority today? And I was thinking about that. I'm like, honestly, like, I brain dump my to-do list. I'll, if it's my walk or in the morning, I'll brain dump what I have to do in the day.
I do that every night before bed.
And then I default to the top of the list. I default to that first one. But then it's like, then I'm like, well, that wasn't the priority. Right. But then I'm like, but honestly, all of them are priority. So then I start asking myself this question. If I got strep throat tomorrow. Oh my God. No, seriously, because some of you guys know I get strep throat weirdly amount, and I don't get it. And
when it comes in a rage. Oh, like, it's bad. It takes you out. Your voice is gone. It's bad. It's so bad. And the reason why I say strep throat, because it takes me, like, I can be fine today, and then tomorrow morning, done. Yeah. It's like, it's it's coming. It's bad. Yeah. Anyway, like, my doctor knows me so well now, and he's like, once a year strep, here you are.
Anyway, but I asked myself that question. If I had strep tomorrow and I was in bed, couldn't do anything, couldn't talk, like, not feeling up to, like, typing away on some project, whatever.
What would I get done
today? Yeah. Right. That way, if tomorrow I couldn't do anything, I would be okay for the following day. Because usually if I'm sick, it's usually a day or two for me, and I can actually at least get something done. I don't remember the last time that I was like completely out for more than 2 days. Right. So I've been asking me that question, and that's helped me so much. Like, cool. What do I need to get done today? Like, if I had strep tomorrow. Yeah. And that's helped me prioritize after I brain dump my to-do list. So anyway, I don't even know why I'm in that conversation, but I guess it's because of the reels. Right. Yeah. Like, I've been so overwhelmed that I've been like scrolling for days, not getting anything done.
Well, it's because your mind can just go blank and numb. And so it's easy place to go to where you don't have to think about everything.
Yeah, putting do not disturb on your phone is like your best friend.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you own a business. It's hard when like we're in ministry because like people need to reach us. So I've been doing like blocks of that. So I'll just put my phone on do not disturb for at least an hour or two, and then I'll look, see if there's anything important. If not, put it back on.
Yeah, that's good.
I just don't.
It's a boundary.
It's dangerous. I mean, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it is. And you know, it's fun. I mean, you know, you get that dopamine, and it's fun to like look at reels, and it's funny. Especially like my friends, they send me the funniest reels. I mean, we probably all have friends, but I mean, it's just like it's fun. It is, but it sucks you in.
Yeah, totally.
So. And then you send me a bunch of reels that are all like about parenting and stuff. It's hilarious.
I know, we find some good ones on there.
Oh my gosh.
And then Disney is just like never ending.
It's never ending.
But anyways, today was one of those days I actually had to do that. Like I got a little overwhelmed. Justin knows too, because I started like working this morning with filming these, you know, testimonies. And then I was like, I've got to edit like 2 videos. We have to film a podcast. I have to edit these testimonies. I've got my workshop, you know. So it's one of those days.
And we had client videos edit too.
That we were like, okay, well, what do we like? Literally, what's due tomorrow? Let's get those done. And we did make time to actually meet and talk about the podcast and just things that need to get done. That was helpful because I was like, can we just scratch the meeting? And Justin's like, no, I think it'll be good. And I think it did help. This wouldn't have happened if we didn't. No. So that was good.
Yeah, I'm
to brainstorm.
I don't know. I love having meetings, and I think
a little too much.
Well, I
you're like Michael Scott, conference room, everybody 5 minutes. I'm like, no, please, I don't want another meeting.
I think though, like I've realized that I don't like to have meetings to have meetings. Don't get me wrong, like, that's dumb.
I know,
Michael Scott.
I know.
But in a way though, when I'm overwhelmed, I want to have meetings.
You do so good talking through
with people,
right? With people,
and I know myself. Like if I get in my own head and I get overwhelmed, even if it's about an idea or how am I edit this, or how am I supposed to like come up with this storyline or script or whatever the case may be. Sometimes sitting around with people and just discussing it always gets me in a different perspective.
Really?
Yeah.
See, for me, I'm like, I just need to get alone. Leave me alone. Like I just need some time to get stuff done, and I get so much work done.
I mean, 100%. There's times I need to get alone, but think about it though. Collaboration is huge.
It is.
It just is.
It's hard for me though.
I know.
Really
well, it's hard for me because I have this whole like mindset of just, you know, get to the grind, get your head down, go for it.
Right.
And that's why for me, I have to like literally know in a way, I'm thinking it's a waste of time to sit for 45 minutes for a meeting. It's a waste of time. I could use that 45 minutes and get this far ahead on a project.
Right.
But I realize that if I do that, then I'm going to be so much more successful in the day because I'm going to have more clarity on the projects and what's next and what I really need to get done.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
Right.
It's like working out in the morning. Like whenever you work out, you have more energy. Even though you're spending an hour to work out, that you could be starting a project, but you work out and then you have more energy for the day.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
So Apple Keynote was today, Justin Zachman.
Oh, yeah.
What are you purchasing from that?
Yeah. I mean, if you don't know what the Apple Keynote is, it's just they announce all their new
stuff, new
products. They have like new AirPods, and
anything
Apple
you're
Macs.
excited about?
I mean, the new iPhone is pretty cool.
I want to see the pink one. You said there's a pink one?
Yeah, there's like the iPhone 16, and they have the iPhone like 16 Pro.
Oh.
They have like a teal one and a pink one and stuff.
Oh, I love teal too.
Yeah, there's just cool features. I mean, it's the whole AI kind of.
Oh, I did see the part where they said you can like AI your emojis. So it's like, show me a dancing monkey or a cowboy monkey, and it just you
can make your own emojis with AI.
That's kind of cool.
Like, they showed like a shrimp with a cowboy hat on.
Yeah, like you can just.
But there's been so many emojis that I would love to make with like my friends.
Yeah.
And you know, just some stupid ones.
That'll be fun.
So that'll be kind of fun. But the iPhone, it's cool. There's some cool video stuff, and you can like, I don't know, some features where you can kind of like scroll the top and it'll like zoom and stuff, and different kind of button and stuff
on the phone.
Yeah, but it's really AI is what's taken.
Yeah.
You can kind of, I don't know. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. So it's
nice.
Cool. Will I upgrade to the 16? Is that the question you're asking me?
I already know you are.
I probably will.
You will.
But I'm not like in a hurry to do it.
Okay.
But honestly, I say that every single year. and then I end up upgrading. So right now I'm fine, but then when I start seeing it, I'm gonna be like, dang it. So
yeah, nice.
And then I justify it because I'm like, oh, you know, that's better this and better that. You know, we're vloggers, we need this, blah blah blah. You start going down the whole thing, and then you need a new phone though, for sure.
I do. Mine's.
She's the one who like basically makes excuses of why she shouldn't buy something new.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that's making excuses of why I should buy it.
I would probably still have like the iPhone 8 if it wasn't for you.
Jeez.
Someone does everything you need it to.
Well, I'm always so when we're vlogging, I'm always telling her, please use our good camera, because when she films, her camera is not that great, the quality. But also she has makeup on it.
It's dirty. Like. I try. I clean it as best as I can with my shirt.
I was editing the vlog that comes out tomorrow, and I'm like, Lacey, why do you clean your lens? Oh, I forgot. Like the first scene, the first opening intro of our vlog, it's the worst quality ever. But it's just what it is.
That's what you get with me, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. Justin will give me a new camera, and I'll keep it cleaner.
Oh man,
I'll do that.
When I worked for Apple, we had we had a culture of feedback, and we would give feedback all the time. And so Lacey hates it because I'm just giving some feedback. She's like, I hate the feedback. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Well, it's funny too because sometimes I don't think you realize it, but now I just expect it because he'll go like review a video after I finish it, and I was like, any feedback? And you're like, no, it's good. I'm like, oh, okay. Like usually you say something. No, so I'm like, oh, that's good.
You're doing a really good job, for sure. Lacey's been learning how to edit. I've been giving her more responsibility.
Good job is the worst thing you can say. Well, I just saw that on something.
Well, what they say is like a good job is something that you forget about so fast, and it's not meaningful.
No.
There's no thought behind it.
Yeah.
You want to be more specific. Like Apple would say, be more specific with your feedback. So you'd be like,
even as a teacher, they would say that in our like classes for in service. They're like, don't tell your students good job. Like say, I love the way you wrote your name today. Yeah, stuff like that. So when you said do a good job, I'm like, oh, thanks.
So you want to say like, hey, if you can say good job still, but say it was really great job on this because it did this and that was that whatever. Okay. And you just kind of anyway.
Yeah.
But
you need to work on your feedback, Justin.
Oh my gosh. Good job. I always tell you why.
I know.
I tell you probably I go way more in detail of why than you want to hear.
That's true.
But
anyway. Also, what else is tonight, Justin, that you're excited about and you can show your new hat as well?
49ers football, Monday night. I hope we win. A couple guys that are out because they're hurt. We'll see. It's the first game, you know.
Exciting.
But what's actually kind of funny is because it actually starts in like 10 minutes.
Which is crazy. Actually, 5 minutes.
Yeah, it does. And kickoff. What's funny is
we're filming a podcast.
We're here. The reason why.
Let's tell you why.
Okay, so we were all gun ho about tonight. Like we are gonna have a nacho bar. I'm making like this really good dip that the base of it is out of cottage cheese, which I'll film for our vlog coming up.
Yes.
And so we're all excited about it. We've been planning this for like weeks. It's on the calendar.
Did I forget the chips?
Are you serious? You forgot the chips? I told you to get those at Costco.
I know, I forgot.
You forgot the chips.
Oh no.
Anyway, so
they weren't in the grocery store. You guys, I gotta get chips right now.
Anyway, I woke up. Oh, no. We woke up on Sunday. Got an email from Landon's coach because he plays tackle football, and they had to move. They normally don't have practice on Mondays.
Right.
They had to move practice to today, and I was like, in this mindset of like, okay, do I just have him skip it? But then I'm like, I've been telling him
what is that teaching him?
I've been telling this entire year of staying committed
to your
let your yes be yes, your no be no. You said you're gonna do this, and he's been having a hard time with. He loves game days, obviously.
Yeah, but
practices. There's four practices a week. It's a lot,
and they're an hour and a half.
They are, but I'm like, what would that teach him?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, what we're gonna pause the game,
record it.
So I think we're gonna pause it, and then we're gonna wait till Lana gets home from practice, and then I think between commercials and stuff, we'll probably catch up live. But here pretty soon, I gotta shut off my phone because I don't want to see scores.
Right.
But anyway, so we'll have time to go get the chips.
I was going to say, well, good thing
right after this,
we're making it later because I don't think I got the chips. We might need that for a nacho bar. It's like a key element.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It is. Anyway, so that's happening tonight, and we'll start the game probably around 8. which is hilarious. We're gonna be eating late. It's just what it is.
Oh man, tomorrow's gonna be a early school day, and nobody's gonna be happy.
But I feel like everything's been late today. Like we ate lunch late.
Yeah.
So I'm not even hungry right now.
Right.
And it should be like almost dinner time.
Yeah.
It's like 6:12 right now. So.
What are you gonna do? So that's our evening, and then this weekend, Justin's gonna be single parent life because I'm going to that retreat.
Yeah.
That we talked about, and my sister will be with me as well. So, what are you guys gonna do?
I have no idea. We'll figure something out.
You always do.
Always do.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna.
It's gonna start with a pizza being delivered.
Yeah, it'll be pizza, lightsaber fights, and that's what I got.
Yeah.
Go from there. Michael gets some ice cream.
Yeah.
Usually when she goes, I do a Walmart delivery, and it's just like
the worst.
It's just
food,
sugar,
anything that can be microwaved for the weekend.
Yeah, you got to. You got to.
I do say whenever I come home for these, because I go to these every year, I always come home to a clean house. Though you do a very good job.
You do clean it.
You do.
We have a tight ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the boys know when, like, I just don't like having their toys everywhere in the living room. Yeah. They know that. Mm-hmm. So I'll let them play for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then after they're done, I'm like, hey, put your stuff back in the room.
Yeah. So but you'll do the dishes the very last second I'm coming home.
Yeah. Let's be real. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing dishes the entire weekend. That's a waste of time. Just wait till the very last second.
Justin does not like doing dishes.
I hate them.
It's so funny.
Honestly, if I could have everything paper and plastic forks, everything throw away.
Maybe you should add that to your grocery to order paper plates and paper.
Maybe if everything could just be like
utensils,
I'd be totally fine with it. Like I don't need the china and the fancy plates and stuff. Even though
the china, when do we use china?
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly, though, the one things that we bought recently that I've been loving are those bowls that you got. Those big bowls for like pasta.
Yeah, they're like they're deep dish, but they're like. Yeah.
Deep dish pizza?
No, like the bowls. Yeah. I don't know the name of it.
I don't know.
It's like in between a plate and a bowl.
But I use those for like for pasta, but I also use them for like my
breakfast,
my eggs and my sunny side up eggs and my cottage cheese and all
Steve
that.
Martin.
Yeah, I call it my Steve Martin.
But speaking of dishes,
if you know, you know.
We were Justin and I are doing premarital counseling with a couple that's getting married, and they were in the husband, he was in our youth group, so it's really special. But anyways, we were talking about like, sharing the household duties with them and stuff, and Justin was like, have you guys like talked about this? And they're like, yeah, like I like doing this, I like doing that. And Justin's like, well, for example, I don't like doing dishes. I was just kind of like laughing inside, and I was like, it finally came out.
Oh, I hate it so much. I hate it.
Out. Yeah.
I hate everything about it.
I do not like doing dishes.
I don't.
At all.
I don't know. I will vacuum. I'll organize. I'll wash windows. Mm-hmm. I'll dust.
It's so funny because house.
I'll even like make sure that the dining room table and the countertops are all scrubbed down.
Yeah, everything will just be immaculate, and then you just see a pile of dishes. In the sink.
Yeah, everything will be shiny.
It's almost just like he just like, it's not there. I don't see it.
Oh my gosh, I just had deja vu.
Oh, really?
I haven't had deja vu forever.
Whoa. Oh, what I just said?
Yeah.
That's so
when
crazy.
was the last time you had deja vu?
I get it quite often.
What?
Yeah.
I haven't had that for like 10 years.
Really? I get it like once, maybe twice, 3 times a month.
What does that mean? Does that mean something?
I don't know.
If I haven't had it for a long time? Should I be concerned?
Look into that. I don't know. Deja vu is so crazy.
I remember I used to have it all the time, and I just realized I haven't had it forever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. I love that. I love deja vu.
You looked really you should get a shirt that says that. I love deja vu.
I do. I missed it.
Oh
I missed it. It came back. Man, it's because the Niners are playing today. It's football. Monday Night Football.
Okay.
It's what it is.
Nothing to do with that.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. So yeah, anyway, dishes are horrible. Mm-hmm. The worst thing in the world. But you gotta do them. It's just part of life.
Trust me, I know I do them every day.
Just like social media, it's part of life. That's what it is. And speaking of football, I am going to a Seahawks and Niners football game.
Where are you going to watch that,
Seattle.
Justin?
But I can't
believe you're gonna walk And step foot in the Seahawk arena.
It really is disgusting.
Crazy.
However,
you're like, I will do it.
I'm excited to go in the Hawks Nest because I've heard a lot of cool things about it.
Yeah.
And blah, 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 but watching the Niners play, duke it out with the Seahawks, it's going to be awesome.
That's going to be really fun.
So we're looking forward to that trip. Mm-hmm. We have another trip that we've been kind of tossing around as of late. Mm-hmm. Just tossing it around.
Like ping-ponging it around.
No, seriously. I was sharing with someone today. Like, I'm like, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like in the cart and then it's out of the cart and then it's in the cart and then out of the cart.
I know.
And you're like, what do we do?
I know.
I think we're leaning towards yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to the point where we booked the hotel.
So I mean, that's a pretty big step. We bought the plane tickets, but we still don't know if we're going.
But if we do this, it's actually not a plane. It's a road trip.
It's a road trip.
Yeah.
And so, it's a good timing. We'll share it later. You guys, a lot of you might even know what it is.
I don't know. We're still kind of like, should we do? I don't know. It's a perfect time if we do it, though.
I know.
Everything lines up. The stars are in line. It's like, oh my gosh.
I know.
Should we just activate?
I told Justin the other day, I'm like, I just need a sign from the Lord. And he's like making fun of me because we got a really big sign that kind of was like, this could really happen.
Well, no, there's been multiple signs.
I'm like,
and I was laughing. I'm like, you're like Gideon in the Bible where it's like the fleece and everything. I'm like, how many more signs do you need? It's like all these different. Anyway, stay tuned to that because we'll probably talk about it. I would say if it does happen, we'll talk about it probably the end of this month or next month is what I'm thinking.
Yep.
But we can, if we have to, like cancel the reservation at the hotel.
We did check on that.
But
we do have a hotel booked.
Anyway, well, I think we should probably end our conversation because we have to get chips.
We do.
And
do you want to get it?
No, because I need to get the dip ready. Okay. You know what I mean?
I'm going to the store.
I mean, I wasn't the one that forgot the chips, dude. Like, that's the one thing. What did you go to Costco for? I thought it was just the chips.
No, I needed to return.
Oh, that's right. We weren't.
And milk.
Because the reason why we didn't get the chips. This is a whole story. So we're at the Costco and like, should we get chips for game day? He's like, no, I want to go get the Juanitas.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, cool, that's a good idea. And then all of a sudden, you never got the Juanitas. No. And then I'm like, and you're going to Costco, like, just get the Costco chips.
Yeah.
You get there and you forget the Costco chips. I guess we're defaulting back to Juanitas.
But then I did a grocery order. It came yesterday and I didn't add it to it. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know what you're thinking either, but
it was my day.
You've had like 4 opportunities to get chips.
I started my period yesterday and I was not in a good mood.
She was, no. Like,
I was talk about being out of commission. I was out of commission.
When you've been married, I remember there was one time, I never will forget this, and this is why I tiptoe around this time. Is because
tiptoe around
tiptoe through the tulips. No, I tiptoe because there was one time when like Lacey was just not having it. Like she was just like it was her time of the month, and I'm being sensitive. I get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm tiptoeing.
Let me be straight up right now. I don't get it. I will never get it.
This is like early on in their marriage, and she's like, why don't you get a calendar and put, what did you say?
Well, basically, because you just did not understand, like, it's my time of the month. Like, get it through your brain. Like, why don't you get a calendar and put it on there so you know, and you don't act like this. Like, what's the matter? What's going on? You all right? I'm like, no, I'm not actually.
So I've taken that to a whole nother level, guys. I take that seriously. And I have should I say this? I have well, we're saying it now. I have a group chat.
Yeah.
For all of you, for your whole sisters.
Me and my sisters.
And they all
we're
cycle.
All in sync.
And I will remind them that it's their time. Yeah. And I'll be like, how's it going? That's all I'll say.
Should we tell them the name of the chat?
I don't know. It's called The Flow. Is this just too much? Are these conversation podcasts not?
When I see that text messages like group come through, it's like The Flow, and it's got like the little emoji, the red dot. I'm like, oh no, it's coming. Justin, he keeps track of it.
I do
us.
because I got yelled at one time, and I'm never. Much. So I have a reminder in my phone that when their cycle is, I text them. I'm like, how's it going? I want you to know that I know. Okay.
You are seen.
And then we move on. And they don't hear from me. There's no more chat, no more talk for the rest of the month. Yeah. So it's just that one thing. I'm just like, hey, I'm here. I'm out. Kind of a thing.
I'm in, I'm out. And
I touched lightly.
I'm not getting in trouble.
On that note, I think
Love
let's go get some chips.
Yep.
Let's get this game started. Get that dip made. And so if you're listening to this podcast, we appreciate that so much. And if you would actually take some time to review this podcast, that'd be awesome. Maybe after that conversation, we're probably gonna get some 1 stars, but we like the 5 stars as always, the best. And we also have a video podcast, so if you're watching, hello, and you can actually watch this, and if you want to comment below and be part of the conversation, you can do that on YouTube.
Yes.
And we also have, you know, vlogs and week in a life, and this is what inspired this podcast, to just talk more about our week.
Right.
But next week or whenever, you'll see the dip that I'm talking about. And it's a good one. It tastes really good. And I actually made this at Juniper's 2nd birthday, and it was a hit.
It was a hit.
It was gone.
I didn't even get any.
Yeah, see?
I know, so I'm very excited to try it.
It's a good one. So we'll film that and show that. But anyway, we probably should get going because we got to make the dip. Got to get the chips. I feel like I've said dip and chips so many times in this podcast. Anyway, we love you guys.
Yes,
Thanks for hanging out with us. And let us know if you like this format.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It was really fun.
It's kind of fun.
It's a little dangerous being unscripted. You're going to get conversations about the flow and whatnot. So beware if you guys like it.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.